No way they do this. Well, trade deadline rumors continue to heat up. This year, especially in Major League Baseball, it's very wide open in terms of who can win it all. And making the right moves at the deadline will play a huge factor in determining who's this year's world champion. I am Adam Choit, your host for today here on Mets Digest. And before we dig in on all that, I just want to give you guys a quick heads up to please subscribe, because as you can see, nearly 70% of you guys watching these videos are not subscribed. So please take a quick second to do that. It is definitely appreciated for sure. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's get into it. So the Mets have checked in about a player on a National League team. The Mets have checked in on a player from a division rival team. The Mets have checked in about a former Cy Young Award winner, and it is this guy, Sandy Alcantara. And here is the report about that right here. It's from Mike Puma. The Mets are among the teams that have checked in on Sandy Alcantara. The asking price is steep. The Mets haven't ruled out adding a starting pitcher, but view it as a tough add given the market. Let's dig deeper into this story. The Mets have checked in on Sandy Alcantara. The 29-year-old has struggled mightily this year in his return from Tommy John surgery. The Mets are among the teams to have checked in on the Marlins starting pitcher Sandy Alcantara as a trade possibility, according to Mike Puma. The 29-year-old right-handed pitcher missed all of the 2024 season after undergoing Tommy John surgery, and he has a rather unsightly 6.66 ERA with a 4.48 FIP in 104 innings this year with the Marlins. That's from Chris McShane of Amazing Avenue. So, yes, been a very rough year for Sandy Alcantara this year. That 6.6 ERA is definitely troubling on multiple levels. I'll just leave it at that. But let's dig a little bit deeper into this story more from Chris McShane here. Alcantara's contract has him earning $17 million this year and next, and there's a 2027 team option for $21 million with a $2 million buyout. If you think he could be the pitcher he used to be, that would be a steal. If you think he's just going to be the pitcher he's been in 2025, that's not so great. That is the dilemma that the Mets are currently facing with the decision of whether or not they should pursue Sandy Alcantara. There's been some responses to this from the internet. I mean, like with all trades, it depends on what are you giving up, and what are you getting in return. But let's take a little bit, take a look at a response here. This is from Chang of MetsMerizedOnline.com. For the Mets, this currently feels more like due diligence rather than a serious pursuit. While they've checked in on Alcantara, there's no indication they're going to meet Miami's asking price. Their rotation, despite injuries, has held together reasonably well, with Kodai Senga and Sean Manaea having worked their way back. The Mets likely don't feel pressured to trade for a starter unless the Marlins lower their demands. The Mets are unlikely to make an all-in move for Alcantara. The front office will be careful not to overpay, especially for a pitcher whose value lies mainly in the future. That is so well said, because that's my thought exactly. And I was going to save this thought for later when we dig into a little bit more about his numbers and some other content. But pitchers coming off these major surgeries, it often does take them the second year to regain their strength and even come back stronger sometimes from Tommy John surgery. You'll notice pitchers will often even throw harder than they did. He's still in the middle of his prime at 29 years old. He's not an old pitcher, so there's definitely some tread still on those tires, one would think. But let's dig a little bit deeper into this right here and look at some more reactions from that. This is from Ultramet LAX. Mets totally believe they can fix Alcantara. I think they can as well. They are patiently waiting to see if his price drops. His issues are mainly post-injury mechanics. Pitching lab is great for addressing these. The Mets have been known, and Jeremy Hefner has been known to rehabilitate pitchers. So that would be very interesting to see if the Mets are able to get anything out of him this year. Because for me, this almost feels like a trade for next year if the Mets are able to land Alcantara at this deadline. It seems like it's a trade for next year when he would be more at full strength and just not be completely terrible, because he's just been straight terrible this year, and even worse or especially bad, continuously bad, for the last 6-7 starts during this summer so far. The Mets, this is from Starblazer, 01 Starblazer on X. The Mets are at least considering Alcantara. He's having a tough year, but is signed through 2026 with the team option in 2027. Next year will be more than 2 years removed, Tommy John, and he'll only be 30. He's a former Cy Young Award winner and a workhorse. That is the optimistic view, or at least the more positive potential outlook for Alcantara, and that's worth considering because the contract is somewhat friendly for the Mets. So that's another plus for going after this pitcher. But the asking price is steep, especially intra-division. The Marlins are not going to want to give away Alcantara to the Mets for nothing, especially going intra-division. That's why it's an uphill battle for the Mets for this to ever happen. It just seems unlikely. But let's dig in a little more on Alcantara's numbers here, because as you can see, I tend to use the word tantalizing when I see these 1.9 WHIP career. This man has thrown over 1,000 innings, so that's a huge sample size. Just look at the WHIP from year to year. Very, very impressive. Really great, excellent, elite since his first couple of seasons with his cup of coffee with the Cardinals, and then pitching in his first couple of seasons with the Marlins. But 119, 107, 0.98 in 2022, then 1.21, pretty good in 2023. And this year, just a total outlier. His first negative WAR season since his rookie call up to the Cardinals. So it just seems all signs would point to next year being a much more Alcantara-like year, and that's definitely tied to the Marlins' hesitance to trade him for very little and not get a good return. Note the date on this tweet. This is from April 2nd. Multiple members of the Mets tell New York Post, this is from SNY, that they would like to see the team pursue Marlins ace Sandy Alcantara if he becomes available via trade. Almost prescient, not that that's an amazing prediction, that the Marlins might not have a great season in 2025 and could be sellers at the deadline. But there's definitely been some ties to Alcantara. The Mets see him a lot over the course of, or they have seen him a lot, of course, over the course of the last seasons, a few seasons, all of his Marlins seasons, of course, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, what do you guys think? Should the Mets go after Alcantara? What do you think the asking price will be for Sandy Alcantara intra-division to the Mets? What do you think? Should they go after him? Should they go after someone else? Relief pitchers I see are a popular demand for Mets fans online. But let me know what you think. Drop a comment below and like, share, subscribe. That is definitely all appreciated. And let's go Mets.